Should I fix my car or should I sell it? Should I fix it or should I sell it? That is the number one question I get as an auto shop owner. Friends, family, clients, at least one text a week asking me, hey, is it worth it? So I'm going to go over this one time on a video. And of course, this isn't going to cover every situation, but this will kind of cover my thought process. So let's go and dive in it. So should I fix my car? Well, first of all, we have to think of a car in this way. We can't think of a car as an investment. A car cannot be an investment. Why? Because it has such a big, steep depreciation curve. It is so steep, you lose so much of your value in first 2 years. You see the chart right here, it's in a curve. It's not a straight linear line, it's a curve. And it's a bad one. So unless you have a rare hypercar, an antique, or Jay Leno, and you have Jay Leno's garage, I guarantee you, your car will lose value. So if it's not an investment, then what is it? Well, your car is a tool. It gets you from A to B. I mean, you have to think of it like a hammer. It's there for a use, and the use is in the miles it gets you. So let's take, for an example, a 2011 Honda Accord with 175,500 miles on it. That's 19,500 miles a year. I picked this car because it's very popular. We see a ton of Accords in the shop, and right now we don't see a lot of cars with 12,000 miles a year anymore. I mean, they're all on average about 20,000 miles a year. So that's the example I used. I get a text from, let's say, from a cousin, a distant cousin. Oh my God, I went to a shop and they quoted me $4,000 to fix my car. That's almost, and I hear this a lot too, that's almost as much as my car is worth. Should I fix it? So I think through. If someone doesn't fix their car, what do they do? What are you most likely to do if you don't fix it? What's the alternative? Let's look at that. Well, if you don't fix your car, you're going to buy a brand new one. So it's going to be a 2020 Honda Accord, brand new. And for the simplicity of it, let's say we get it out the door for $31,500. That's a killer deal, tax, title, license, and everything, for a V6. So let's look at the cost involved. We talked about depreciation just now, so let's talk about the depreciation of a brand new Accord. In the first 2 years, according to CarEdge.com, this brand new Accord will lose $9,204 just in depreciation in 2 years. That's $383.50 a month. Don't forget about finance costs, because who buys anything with cash anymore? And just like how we love to spend with money we don't have, we put $0 down. So according to this website, car.usnews.com, the average new car rate in September of 2020 was 5.07%. And just like car's depreciation curve, the finance depreciation curve for financing is just as bad. In first 2 years, 24 months, $2,638 just in the finance cost. That's just the interest cost. None of that goes to the principal. $109.92 a month. Third, this is something that we all forget about. When you finance a car, you need full coverage. You can opt out if you have a car that's paid off, but if you got especially a brand new car, oh, you better have full coverage on it. So this is going to vary. It depends on your driving records and your insurance carrier and how much you like to nag and bug your insurance agent. But let's just say, for simplicity again, let's say full coverage costs you $70 a month more than just having liability. I think that's pretty fair. So in the first 24 months, $1,680 goes to something that you wouldn't have had to pay if you kept your current car. Granted that it's paid off and you don't want full coverage. So a combined total after 24 months and 2 years, you will spend $13,522 just in depreciating factors, finance, depreciation, and insurance. And none of this goes to the actual worth of your car. So keep in mind, we did not even factor in property tax. I'm in North Carolina in Wake County. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking about $600 to $800 additional for the 2 years if a new car versus an older car. Now, you guys might not have property tax or whatnot, so I left that out. So let's go back to the original question. Our 2011 Honda Accord with 175,500 miles on it. Oh my God, I went to the shop and they quoted me $4,000 to fix my car. Should I fix it? Well, everything we discussed, and using this example, we will see a 2 years cost savings of $9,522 if we spend the $4,000 right now. So let's put it in another perspective. If we put this $9,522 in an index fund, our 10-year return, using the historical rate of return of the S&P 500 of 10%, our 10-year return will be $24,697.62. And with the magic of compound interest, our 30-year return would be $131,268.86. So I'm kind of leaning towards fixing my current car. But you have to ask, do I like my current vehicle minus the issues we're having? Hey, you know your car the best. You know if it has a little quirks, like the window's not working, or sometimes you hit a bump and the radio goes off. You know your car better than we do. If your car has a mildew smell, you know the roof is leaking, and stuff like that, all those factors, it's hard to factor in. But you gotta keep those factors in mind. You know your car more than we do. You liking your car, that's a big deal too. Does your vehicle suit your current lifestyle? So maybe you got the car when you were in college and now you're a big hotshot lawyer, and maybe you need to step it up. Or maybe you're pregnant with your third kid, and then, with me knowing that, I might say, hey, you know what, this might be a good opportunity for you to upgrade to a minivan. So you got those factors. And then, people ask me, well, I know a new car, and I don't even want to buy a new car. What about buying a used car? I was like, yeah, buying a used car will save you more money than buying new. The depreciation is kind of off the table if you're buying a 3 or 4 year old car, but you still got to finance it. And if you're financing it, you got a higher interest payment. You still got to put full coverage on it. And then if you're not doing all that, if you're buying a cheap car, let's say you're buying a $4,000 car. Well, first of all, it's hard to get a car for $4,000 nowadays. And if you do, I guarantee you it's going to need $2,000 to $3,000 worth of work. And you know what? If someone's selling a car, why are they selling it? Most of the time it's because exactly the reasons why you're selling it, because it has issues. So you're buying other people's problems. At least you know the problems that your car has. You're buying hidden problems when you buy a used car. So, it's better than buying brand new, but the justification really isn't there. So, in conclusion, yes, the answer to this question to me is it's almost always better to fix your current vehicle than going and buying a new or used one. So I use this example of a 2011 Accord, $4,000, 175,000 miles on it. What kind of problems does a car have? My customers have sticker shock sometimes. So with Accord, water pump timing belt, that needs to be done regularly because if it breaks and your engine is goner. Rack and pinion can sometimes leak. That's pretty common. It's a $1,500, $2,000 job. And you got like maintenance items like brakes and and tires, spark plugs, fluids. But let's just imagine for example that we just want to go all out. I don't want to worry about anything anymore. I want to make my car like new. Let's get 4 brand new tires on there, redo all the brakes, replace all the fluid, get an interior cleaning done, just make it like new as possible, and dump $6,000 into it. You're still ahead after putting $6,000 into this vehicle. We've done the math and looked at everything. But typically, in our shop, when we look at it, and when we look at your car, and when we look at the cars that are available out there, we kind of know. And $6,000 is the tipping point. If we know, and if we can see that it's going to need more than $6,000 worth of work in a year, then we're gonna recommend that you get another vehicle. That's kind of the tipping point. So that's where we will kind of stop it. Obviously, you know, if it's $4,000, if it's poorly maintained, bumpers are hanging off, you know, cosmetically in bad shape, smells like mildew, then, you know, we're probably going to recommend that you put that money into a down payment or something. But if you have a really well maintained car that you love, and you know, and it's a $4,000 bill to repair it, then it's a no-brainer. This doesn't count into the fact that, you know, if you want a different car, if you don't like the features that your car currently has, if you want a Tesla or something, like an electric vehicle that has like auto drive, I mean, we can't do comparisons. I mean, we can only do a financial analysis here. So I hope that helps. And if you guys have any questions or anything like that, you know, we're here to help you.